next game. Game number 83. We go over to Erangel. We've already alluded to the fact that that top spot for Na'Vi is very much under threat right now. Will our top spots overall try and strike out at it? As we're about to find out once again on Erangel, the grassy pastures. Pansy and Sims, take it away.
Thank you. And yes, indeed, Erangel is now looming. And speaking of looming, there are plenty of teams with so much to do in front of them, whether it be pushing towards the very top spot, merely trying to stay in the PEL, or getting to the money. There's so much on the line. GLL, every single place is fighting for something. Certainly not easing off anytime soon.
Flight path initially onto Erangel, not the greatest one in the world. We'll have a couple of readjustments. You will see an IP into their backup drop. The Knights will have to be very aware. Their presence will be known. Lipovka mansion, little houses and shacks kicking around there. They'll be lingering, so they have to be very, very careful. Winstrike have to do some work to get to their usual spot. Few vehicles, bit of a drive, not too much of a problem further afield though, because you won't have the likes of NIP, for example, who would be on their tail, generally speaking. FaZe Clan, go home, Milter power, job done, not an issue at all. M19, obviously the one that has the most difficult time to get down to Prim, that's completely out of the question. The question is really, where do they go? What do they get? Do they go to the initial liquid area? Sometimes the FaZe backup drop. Do they rotate round there? Because at the bottom, there ain't a great deal of loot, really. Well,
I think I just heard Frozen Martin yelling.
I mean, yeah, it's the only people generally we can hear rather than each other.
Yeah, now let's kind of explain as to why this is going to be a fun one. ENCE actually have a shot at this now, for one. So them, further out of relegation, trying to keep building that story up, right? Further than that, NIP, big circle for them. TSM generally take the 2 compounds just south of where the Knights are if they feel as though it's going to stay a southern circle, but they might have to head up further. This, to me, plays well for Raise Your Edge and NIP story-wise and how far they can take themselves.
As long as NIP doesn't box themselves into Lipovka and they do play out of the location they're in, they don't have to go too far, but they need to be very careful and aware they don't step on Raise Your Edge's toes, or the Knights turn up unexpected. Mansion would be quite a nice play for them. Heaven would be a very nice play for them. Take Heaven, take control of it, which we have seen before. Yep. We've also seen teams that do like to come down there. ENCE is one of them. They won't do that now because I know after speaking to them in Phase 1, they know that it's NIP's backup location. Yeah. And it's one thing they didn't want going into, actually, to face it. And said, you know, it's a bit of a bugger if NIP do follow us because it's someone else that we have to worry about from up there. Yep. So they'll have the presence and the knowledge and the awareness that that is a team potentially from them. Let's drive a little bit further into those stories then. If you are joining us, this is a bit of a race at the moment. There's 3 different things on the line. We have the top 5 that go forward to the Grand Slam, the GLL Grand Slam, and that's the next PUBG Classic that's on the line. North America, Europe, OCE. Many different regions competing, a lot of money on the line. There is 1 seat going towards the Global Championship as well. And this is where all the banter between NA and EU actually comes through. You know, another seat, potentially bag it for your region at the end of it. Then you have the money. 1 through 8 is paid out of the league. And this is for phase number 2. And then down at the bottom, the 3rd and final story, bottom 4 will be going to relegation. 12 teams from contenders will come here to Berlin and face off against them. 4 spots are open. And we potentially could see the first teams ever relegated from the PEL.
Yeah, and remember, this is a career for these boys. You know, you've got to feel, of course, you know, they have organizations backing them, they have the money for playing in this league on the line, but you've got to feel, I don't think some of these teams will stick with their, you know, the orgs won't stick with the team if they get dropped down to relegation zone. You know, you lose out on that big shot of the money, you lose out on a lot of things. So for these guys, this has been probably a life-changing opportunity for some of them to be able to come out here, do this, you know, get put up in housing, get, you know, play PUBG every week in and out and build your brand, all of that good stuff. But if you let it slip too far, you can all fall apart. So it really does become pressure for these guys.
Let's be real, if a house, you know, food, player wages, everything else, it's a business at the end of the day. And organisations, you have to be doing something. There has to be some level of income. It's a job. And if that isn't there, I can see a few of these boys, unfortunately.
Oh, my Lord.
going out, and speaking of going out, Menox, first one to die here.
Nice bit of accurate. Ooh, answer back. VOD gap to be a little bit quicker on that one. Going to put the car away, keep that safe, just in case. I actually really like the place that NIP are currently residing. I like these compounds. I like these houses. You've got the level 3 house just to your left as well. It will be busy up there, though. Raise your edge close by. Menox felt that. ENCE now closing in slightly towards the east. NIP in a 2-2. So they do have Gaxi and MBS, I think, in heaven at the moment. I wonder how much information anyone can pry from who just got the kill on who there. But this area is already very busy. A lot of teams already headed towards it. So Team Liquid, Na'Vi, Reciprocity, Winstrike, Unity, they're kind of out from being able to get that super central area.
Just to note, down in the south, FaZe Clan did pick up a crate. I'm not entirely sure what's in it. But they have the full eastern road to themselves, but the problem is all roads will be leading to the center of the map. That eventually will come in from the water. And they need to have a decent position, even if it's just a position where they can move off the back of and get in a better location.
Yeah.
Teams that are going to have a difficult one on this, M19, I mean, it's just, you can tell by how sparse they're spread, their loot, it's going to be kind of trash, unfortunately. That's what happens when you don't go to a major city. You don't have a backup drop to take, because that's certainly not a backup drop, that's just an emergency drop. Get what you can and get out, and they have to go soon. Make sure they've got vehicles, cross the bridges, do whatever to get to that circle. The north, all teams banking on it going down further than Yasnaya. Everyone's come down from the mountains. There's hardships up to Stalba. I'm going to be in for a very fun game. Liquid might take, potentially, the hillside of the Yasnaya pond, maybe set up shop there and just await this one. They could sit on the bridges.
They did go into Yasnaya before, so I'm wondering if they dare do that again. They did go through that sort of way and play on the western side. FaZe went east. Should be. Yeah, FaZe went east. They don't have that opportunity this time, so it'll be a bit of a different landscape for Liquid in Yasnaya. I wonder where they head. Could be anywhere. They certainly still have a lot of choice up in the north. A lot of teams opting to stay slightly further south than the Yasnaya Lake. Unity, slow and steady. Being meticulous in the cross over the bridge, don't blame them. Always a chance. No one there this time, but you never know.
I wonder what Reciprocity's loot's like. They're up by Liquid, so you have to think how fast they've rotated and how fast they've got off Sosnovka. Maybe they go for a secondary location, just loot through, see if there's anything left. FaZe have come over to the Knights territory. Again, for FaZe Clan, they've got to find a foothold on anything. ENCE is still looting through. Znax, not Midis. Presence known at all, just held down for now. So ENCE will have no idea. You can see he's already popping stims just in the background. If there's some on the floor and you can't fit them in the bag, you will see players just drink them and then pick them up. You might as well be stim than not. Oh, there we go. Time to strike. Does he survive, though?
Was holding that. I doubt he's going to make it away. 8C, dead. Yep. Snark had been creeping up and keeping tabs on that for a while. I think Nduzi might realize there's someone in. No, he's actually very unaware. G2 set up poised for this. Brexco, 3, 2, 1, engage. Good spray on hook. Moldoy tries to pre-fire on the follow-up. The trade. Oh, Kane, you absolute lifesaver. This is big work from G2. Yes, Brexco may be knocked, but he is recoverable unless Senya does something dirty to G2 here.
Needs to go huge. Na'Vi, their worst week so far in the PEL. He goes down now. That's an awful, awful finish. The damage is done. Brexco's still safe. I think he's just got to evacuate this.
Yeah,
he can't win. He's damaged, right?
Yeah, and they don't even know about Chris yet. Chris was in the perfect line of sight to be able to punish even further if it was going to happen, and Na'Vi had just been cut off at the knees. No chance for that. Senya's got to go. Got to bounce. Got to get out of there. Sorry, boys. Can't make it happen this time. Too much pressure. No nades to try and, leverage yourself back in. Got to bounce, and there you go. Watching your teammates being slaughtered, never fun.
And when FaZe Clan's only 20 points behind you from first spot, Na'Vi are letting this one slip. They've been fantastic so far throughout the league.
Here we go.
Slowly but surely, people are catching up to the pack. You know what? Even G2's within reaching distance of them now. That's scary. Circle. More towards the north, a little bit of water in, so you stay away from that coastline. All the teams begin to rotate. Beautiful Death will be capturing the backside of this. Kramer, a few warning shots from the 7.62. They'll be in the cars and follow in suit. DA just on the edge. 3 are inside the circle. Maybe they could try and play spoiler to a few teams that want to take that roadside. That's fine.
Let's keep on with NIP here, because they're the ones that now might have a shot at doing something. They were slightly more postured towards the north. They were in that eastern road from Yasnaya. Not sure what's available. FaZe, TSM very close by. We know that FaZe can be dangerous. We saw what happened with that drive-by. Careful with them, even in vehicles. Wookie, oh, this could be big. TSM in danger. Gustav stays alive. Wookie gets found. And oh, Gustav just about makes it to the compound.
Dins took a bit of damage. Raw rip.
That tire just got
Is
popped.
that just gone? Yeah, that's swinging around all over shop. Unfortunately for him, that might be another one for TSM. He's struggling to get it going again, even uphill. It's slowed down, so popping that tire has cost him valuable time. There is a response
Nice
from Michael.
cover from Michael.
Really, really good shot from the distance. Just forces him back and allows him to regroup himself. Chris is all kinds of damaged. Cameras on his teammate over. It's rather unfortunate, especially on a pull-up as well. I didn't realize they've actually moved on to raise your edge. So that's going to really do a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, Chris is 4 HP, but he's being kept alive by FastRail. Excellent cover, taking down Jazza, holding the cross. There's so tunnel vision on getting Chris. Does he get into cover? Yes, he does. A little bit of work from here. We've seen magical moments from this spot, and we might just see it again. Do not keep peeking it, please, Shadow. You know better. FastRail might have an angle soon as well. Depends on the timing. Peeks out the door. It's always good. Such big damage. My mind rolls back to the moments we saw at the bigger tournaments from a position just like that.
Minor IQ play to make note of. He saw Kramer actually shoot Nasus. Did knock him. Just thinks, you know what? I'm going to take you out and deny the points. So raise your edge. You only get 3 out of that when it could have been 4. I know it's only minor, I know they're out, but it's still every single point makes a difference when you're trying to chase them. Raise your edge. Are on the edge still of making it to the GLL Grand Slam. NIP have joined them up there. TSM, a bad game for them here. It'd certainly make that a hell of a lot easier. Center, very
The Knights about to
sparse.
crash Gustav? Yeah, they forced him
What
out of
else
it.
can you do, really?
No, that's fine by me. Happy with that.
Actually, there's 2 compounds you can share down there. Maybe they just split them.
Yeah, before Gustav was pulled over, he was the one man holding it. They scouted it, and they've gone, all right, no, let's head on over. So you've seen Gustav peel out of that one. ENCE have a certainly good idea that that's been happening, and the Knights are 2-2ing this. So utilizing that extra man, as TSM did lose out on 1.
A lot of westernly northern swings. M19 have actually gone all the way up to Kameshki. Unity will be following that road through. On the coastal side, they actually might, if they're not careful, run into Kameshki and head on into M19, because they are in the blue, so there will be no reposition coming. They might just stay on that road. It is a bit of a rough terrain, uphill struggle. You'd assume, yeah, I'm safe here, so I'll just continue on the road. It's an easy drive. Circle, still a little bit of water in, backside of Kameshki. All those priority compounds that Rec are holding, they have to be careful here because they're going to have to fight for them. There will be a team pulling up shortly. There isn't much room for maneuverability. Maybe we see Rec regather its resources into one compound and just fight for one. The bigger one at the backside would be better. You've still got Liquid, DA, G2, TSM. If ENCE want to go further, they can do. All these teams are looking forward at the center of that map and thinking, where else do we go? That is an open, dead area.
Yeah, there's... In between CrowCrowd, ENCE, and FaZe Clan, it's quite hard territory, quite hard terrain. Especially just south of CrowCrowd, it's very open. You've got that one little ledge that kind of rolls down, and then it's basically open. North of CrowCrowd, quite open as well. It does at least have some trees, some foliage to keep you safe.
Just a small note here.
Where are DA going? Are they about to crash? Yes, they are. They're pulling up on it. 6 miles already taken down to a 1-shot. Oh no, a run over. Oh no, this ain't good. This ain't great. Chris plays it out again, but he's got a 1v1 to win here, and he does have Sigs. He's still around. That's really well done from Chris. Held that compound like a beast. DA pulling up, giving the vehicles over, but they do stay alive. Chris holds on.
That barrel does the job really quickly. M19 up in the north. Kameshki, we said this could be a possible point of contact. It was Constantine who was late to the party. He was out in the blue. He spotted Unity rolling up to this, made all his team aware, and they set up and they prepared. Unity, they got a fight on their hands.
Oh, D-Mash, what was that?
But why?
Not like this.
But why?
Look, I'm a fan of people going for, you know, the hip-fire crazy plays, but it's hard to pull off against players like this because they're not going to miss those shots.
If you've got an SMG, yes. If you've got something with a very, very small bloom on it and does damage, I mean, 120% to the legs and arms, going to do a copious amount of damage up close and personal, but just jumping through midair with an AR.
That ain't it.
No, it's not a fan.
Chief.
This nade might be it.
Don't
Bounce.
think it's gonna go far enough.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it does bounce.
Well,
Goodbye, Unity.
fair play.
Now look at that. Oh, look at the Northwest. Liquid, G2, Winstrike, all having a look over there. There is a little bit of room to work in on. The hills can contain a fair few teams. You've got enough kind of rolling cover that it can work. But I feel like G2 will be forced to maybe fight Winstrike here on that little plateau.
Liquid might barricade themselves on these rocks. This is all really they have to play with. The plateau compound up top where they are currently on the western embankment will be out in the next circle. Just. Only just. Now Rec, last time we saw you get a very, very strong
I'm glad to see this,
place
Rich.
like this. Unfortunately, you bottled it. DA pulled up on you, took it from you. Now it's time to go defensive. They'll regather the resources. They'll all get together because they're going to have the fight of their life. G2, they're in the same boat. Winstrike just holding them dead to rights outside of the circle. They're on the road, which is a flat surface. There is a small ridgeline that they can hide behind and do what they want.
TSM trying to send it now. I think they're getting a lot of attention from FaZe, but it's quite far. And they've got bikes. That's one benefit. At least they have that agile mobility trying to get through Michael's. It's looking a little worse for wear, but they're trying to get into any sort of spot. Kemba finds Michael. Big loss for TSM. Down to 2 now. Lost down a player earlier, but Gustav and Rory have pulled up here. Reciprocity moved further towards the center. TSM have taken over. I don't know if this was their old spot. I think it was. So yes, they've managed to get central at least.
They've left the bigger compound all the way on the east. That's open for the taking should M19 come down. A really interesting note for Winstrike. They're splitting in a 2-2 at this stage. And they don't realize that, okay, Navi's only down to 1 player, but it's still Senya. If you do, that's a pre-net. Imagine if that hits the car. Oh, they got
Imagine
out
if it hit
just
the
next
players.
to it.
Yeah, about to say, that could have been way worse. But ENCE just rocked up, foot of the hill. That's a problem. Gemty and Co should be able to land some blinding shots on this. Here comes the nade rain from above. Rustamar did find one back on Gemty, so it's not without answer. It's bought time for a revive here, and Jeems might have overextended, but the man's got moves. He's got those quick feet. Sam2 with the underhand, rolling it down towards the fins. You know, from love, and there it is. Sam2 going to find Mikas, but Rustamar does punish Gemty in the end. So this is not without answer. This is a bit of a brutal battle, and Squeaky is right on that jump-off point. One of these nades is good. He's buying time. It should be revive time or go time. That's going to be the question. Do we push it? Do I revive? Do I take my time?
Ooh.
And another one came through. Team Liquid down to 2 players if they can get a revive. And it's been stolen from them by Chris. Where's that from?
Still down in that little shack. Well,
Oh,
actually,
yeah,
they've
pushed
moved
up a little
further
bit, yeah.
Yeah, they've gone onto the tree line, just the woods above it. You see them from the rocks. Siggs is also holding the off angle should
FaZe
they want
on
to
the
come
move.
down. FaZe
I don't know
have
where
get
they're
in.
gonna go.
I mean, they've got 2 teams here. They've got the rest of
Look at
whatever's
Snark.
left of the Knights.
Look at Snark.
He could stab them in the back. Uber's got the 249. He might be able to make something happen. Squeaky's still going hard onto Liquid, and there you have it. Mikas follows up. Liquid's gone. Uber starts to open up. Needs to be aware his
Nice
presence
work
is
from
known.
Mexi.
That's a good hold on the cross
Yeah,
there.
but look at Snark. Snark's still prone in a bush over there. He's literally just behind Uber somewhere. That is madness. Make sure you got that map stream open so you see it. Nades come in, Snark strikes. That's down Uber. That's down Mexi. That is a huge play from the Knights. The one man that left alive is just dashed FaZe Clan. Woo!
Well,
First face is 1 HP. Look how close that was.
oh my. And I think Set's going behind enemy lines. He's behind enemy territory. He might finish off Fuzzface. That'll be a top 10 for them, all off the back of one lone ranger hiding in the bush. Prexco moves further down. He actually gets behind Winstrike. I was saying about them holding the line earlier on.
Oh, but don't mess with G2. These 1-to-1 fights, they are beastly at it. And they have punished Winstrike a hell of a lot for this. And you've got Senya lingering in the background. There could be a revive here. Kane could get back on his feet. I think Urdi has been tasked towards that. Circle centers up. You've got NIP, TSM, and Reciprocity still very strong in this.
Both Winstrike and FaZe Clan not expecting anybody to be behind them. And it's the reposition, or even the camp in the bush, should we say, when it looks towards Snark.
That was unbelievable.
That's just cost them. I mean, hell, he almost even took the 3v1, right?
Yeah.
Fuzzface is down, Set comes in, cleans him up, FaZe have gone. Shiv back on board with a marksman rifle, M24 in his hand. The man can snipe in Publix. Let's see if he can do a fair amount of damage here. He's one of the... There's a few players here in Wookie Bookie, some of the other ones that will still opt to use a sniper rifle, a bolt action over the DMRs. The DMR is pretty much the meta because it's just so forgiving. You can just, as you can see on screen, tap, tap, tap. And the bolt action, you miss the bullet, you gotta go for the reload, reposition, go again.
Razor Edge might be done for here, though, aren't they? You got CrowCrowd on one side, and yeah, Chris just got caught in the heels by ENCE as soon as he tried to disengage from that. Trying to play out as they were. It's always going to be tricky. They just didn't have the step into it. Now ENCE can try and pull themselves together. They're not in a bad spot here. I'm curious what CrowCrowd do. They have a lot of room in the south. That north side, though, G2, then Senya, then M19. Is it going to be another bloody battle here? All of these teams need to find a way into the circle. I guess M19 do have a slightly better step, but not by much. Oh, that shot from Wanderer.
Let's not forget about Senya. I actually think he's just going to run away from this one, to be fair to him. Stay alive. Oh, no. Udir's seen him and he... No, he's got him. So G2 get a taste of their own medicine here. The backstab onto Winstrike, and now Senya follows through, does the same. 60's gone. Raise your edge. 9 position for them. Kane, G2, TSM.
Oh
welcome wagon. Pre-nade as well. Does the damage. But G2 is gone. The pre-nade is beautiful.
TSM hold ground. Their 2 players stand. The rest of ENCE still working around on that western side. 2 looking north, 2 to the south. G2 being removed from the equation. Makes things look pretty interesting. Reciprocity being quiet, but holding excellent position here, Rich. They still have a very strong foothold into this. And I'm wondering when NIP get into the battle as well.
NIP in the position that we saw Reciprocity earlier on with the 2-2 split. They went for the bigger amount of land grab.
Nice.
That'll be finally gone. Another man who can with an SLR. TSM still holding on for dear life. Vard has disengaged himself from the head of the pack on NIP and gone further to the south, try and keep tabs on the circle. It's
He
good
should stay there.
Yeah, I think that's a really good, because he'll be defended right from the kind of the hillside where he is.
Because there's such a low chance that anyone's going to be in that open. If you see where the road is on the map, no one's going to be in that little kind of bend. So he just needs to be careful to not overextend and stay still like that. I'm surprised that wasn't a headshot, honestly, from Senpai. That could have really put Vard into a bad spot. If you get knocked there, you know you're going to be in trouble. Now I wonder where NIP focus. They got contact on M19 in the north, so they know that's a possibility. They might just be trying to keep control of this, maybe feeling that it's very unlikely that M19 are going to try and crash that compound, maybe just work kind of more centralized onto this, leaving NBS to watch over it, set up. Oh, you're out in the open, and that's an easy one for Squeaky. Or you see what he can do in endgame situations. Don't let him do it again. Reciprocity now. Keep eyes trained on towards it. CrowCrowd being funneled towards NIP, and NIP should be able to meet this with force.
That's the problem for CrowCrowd. There is only one place to go, and an IP can box them into a closed environment. If Gaxi doesn't finish them at range with the SKS, you can damn well show that Vard and Miraku will.
Yeah.
MBS is just holding back at distance with a K9. If he's got a 6 or an 8 on there, he can just keep a tabs on M19. Maybe put a few pokey shots down at them just to redirect them towards Reciprocity. Keep this base that they have safe for now. You can see CrowCrowd slowly but surely, one by one, will fall. ENCE, time to make a move here. These boys are going to be broken and battered on arrival, and Scoom will take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I don't know how much cover they have to work with. By the looks of the shots, not a great deal. A little bit of low ground is what Rustamar maybe was looking for there, but you can see Scoom's line of sight works with it perfectly. They do have some smokes, though, so they can make that smoke wall and try and find a way in. One knock would give them a great deal of entry point, but...
No helmet, though.
Yeah,
it's the gear. There've been so many fights,
keep
right?
peeking. Ooh, wait, they've taken down Rafi. That opens up that the southern flank. So maybe they can work the low ground. You're trying to operate under the assumption that no one's going to look up at you. Shiv, unable to see it just yet. He might get vision now. He does. This could be a big boy nade coming from Trifoli. Taking that one up. He's going for the knock. Maybe trying to catch someone who's reviving. Damage on Hacksteady is big. He wants this. And Rafi's back on his feet. Good cover from Reciprocity, but they need to keep themselves calm here because these boys are right on the door. Oh, Scoom, look at the flank from Scoom. This could be nice as well. Scoom trying to find a deeper angle to play from to ensure safety. Make sure ENCE can't just keep getting away with his peaks. That nade, but there we go. Nice work from Scoom. There is the prize at the end of it. That's what he was building on. Haxedi going to finish what he started, leaving Mikas with 6 HP in a dream. I doubt there's time to heal. He knows he's under pressure, sees just the little heads peering above, and Reciprocity hold the western side.
Really nice clean there. get him off the hillside, get him away from your compound. All comes down to Shiv moving into such a position that his body is completely hidden, just his arms and his chest.
Are we seeing a Reciprocity win here, boys?
I mean, they defended it, they deserve it after all this work. Going up there, and you got to think they came all the way.
Rich, this battle. NIP, TSM, both fighting to get towards better positions, both one trying to hold on, one trying to fight forward. Big nade from Gaxi, Gustav goes down, and we know the nades are going to come in, and there's the steal as well. That was good. Constantine got that on Rory.
Oh my God, through the...
Oh, dearie me. Constantine, that is some distance he's got there. Now, NIP gets spotted. They've made noise, and they're going to call the attention of Reciprocity. But big step for NIP. That's opened a route now for Miracle and maybe NBS to try and filter through. They at least have a way forward. Reciprocity is still kings of the hill. Elite player may be looking for it, but look at the Rafi's positioning, look at Scoom's positioning. I really like this for them. They're trying to hedge their bets, keep as much map control and information flowing to the other two as possible.
Big play there. Gives NIP a step in the circle, that's fine. Shiv is the man that we need to keep an eye on with the M24. Up on top of that level 3 build in the priority compound. They'll give him the vision of M19. Maybe he gets... Oh, that's a big damage headshot. Onto one. Rafi follows up. That's the knock. Another player down here. This could be really good points for Reciprocity. Take out both of these teams. You're talking what? 12, 13, 14 point game plus the 10 from the win. They need this.
And again, I'm giving credit to Scoom holding this position. The reason why is if you're NIP and you hear the engagement above you, you know you're going to be tempted to push that. You know that they'd love to get to that further hill where ENCE were, be able to kind of block Reciprocity away from center circle. If you're thinking, down the line, they still want that battle to go down, but there's attention everywhere. Miraku's been knocked. He tried to join the others. He will be revived, I'm pretty sure, back on his feet. And again, M19 running out of cover and options. They're being forced forward by the blue. So many of their angles are at least open to one side, if not the other. It's pick your poison. Rafi finds Wanderer. I think they're down to one man standing, which might be elite player.
Finishing him off through the blue. Keeps on firing just to deny any form of resuscitation there.
Spot that. That's what I'm looking for.
I hope so, because otherwise just tunnel vision on these points may have cost them. The bigger thing is that we have seen NIP a little bit damaged. We saw the knock coming out earlier on, which did slow them down. They had to go for the res.
Gaxi's cross, right? You look at this. So let's play this out in the minds of NIP. Reciprocity should be able to clear out the last member of, M19,
God,
maybe. Gaxi should be able to hold the cross out of this compound. If Scoom swings further south, you've got to hope that VOD, Miraku, and MBS would be looking towards that. But Gaxi can play complete spoiler to this. That's how it can, in theory, play out if you're on NIP's side. If you're not, Reciprocity spots out VOD, spots out Miraku, spots them out on the way over, and they get caught on the cross, and maybe elite player can just kind of sneak a little second place in. This is how it can plan out, and I do not know which way it's going to go, but Shiv with that gun scares me a little bit.
I suppose it all depends on how many they can actually get to the foothold of this hill, right? I mean, Gax is there, which is good, unless they overextend and don't realize he's actually there. If he's not being kept track of, he could play spoiler and be a surprise. Scoom comes around Scoom's gone all the way around them. He's been playing this position. It was his job to keep this safe. Shiv, really big pick there onto a Gaxi. And now you've got to know that they are at the foot of the hill. Scoom needs to spring to action, and he is. Nice work from Scoom, but have they read it? Do they know it's coming? It looks like Vard's aware. Yeah, big pickup. Scoom unaware. Now here's the response. Where's the trade? It's not quick as you'd like. Now Rafi wants his go at it. Don't head peek into Vard. All you're showing is the helmet, and he's going to punish you for it. NIP going for toe-to-toe here with them. Miraku's nade goes up. Is it a good one? We know NIP are very talented at this. Doesn't quite make it. Got to be careful to not roll it down the hill. Scoom still knocked. The revive on Rafi's coming in, but look at elite player in the background. He's got central in all this. Now Reciprocity have fights on several fronts. It's not gone smoothly as they'd like for them. I doubt the revive on MBS is going to happen here, so Reciprocity hold the numbers. They all flood back for now. And NIP just have to hold. MBS unresable in my opinion, just given the circle scenario. Vard looking up through the windows. Why do I feel like one of these nades is just going to bang it? Because it's NIP, and they are just absolute monsters. That's going to be on the revive. No, it just goes short. I thought he was about to get one through the window or in the doorway to deny the revive there. So close. And wait, are they getting the revive on MBS? They've got the revive. But Shiv could spoil it again. This is such a back and forth game. Reciprocity would bleed out so quickly, but Shiv is lurking. He's lingering. He's looking. Waiting for someone to peek. He gets the first shot.
big kill. That's an execution. Can't get the flush. No trade available yet for NIP. If he overextends, then it's game on. Then he gets knocked. That's a big pickup. He knows the other two are there. Elite player has been biding his time in the meantime. Do not forget that. This peak is not easy, and Shiv should not overextend. Oh no. 5 nades. NBS.
It's cooked.
Oh god,
it's
it is
primed.
cooked. Just goes too far. Shiv is very close to this one.
They've been collecting nades from the body boxes. That's exactly what they've been doing. You saw him just wandering close to it every single time he'd throw one. Circle is going to force these guys up. They have to move now, and they're going to be exposed. Shiv has the cross. He's got the angle looking downhill. Nade comes flying his way, backs up, goes over his head, tags the damage.
Oh, that jump, no!
What?
That's a mechanical error. He just completely fluffed it. He maybe went to do a little crouch peek and he just hit the spacebar, hits the full peak, and that's a huge mistake. It's game on. Now they need to be worried about central point. And look who's still waiting there. Elite player. He is still going to come into this late game. NIP are playing the low ground because they can't really do much else. But if Elite player swings on this, takes down Hexeti, it's anyone's game. And here's contact time. He gets the tag, not the frag. Hexeti takes him down. It's 2 teams, 2v2. Rafi finds MBS. It's all on Miraku in a 1v2. Reciprocity have it all to do here. They have to hold this one down. Miraku out in the open and surely dead to rights. It's Reciprocity with the win.
Holding the building for so long. Many players came their way, but they did seal the deal in the end. Scooms push out towards several teams that did just advance to 4. It was just absolutely fantastic. The swing from behind